Good evening. We're ready to call the City of Menasha Administration Committee meeting to order. Clerk Galeazzi, could we have roll call, please?
Alderman Langdon.
Here.
Alderman Kruger.
Here.
Alderman Tom Grotti.
Here.
Alderman Ted Grotti.
Here.
Alderman Rapella.
Here.
Alderman Nichols.
Here.
Alderman Taylor. Alderman Sevenik.
Here.
Thank you. The first item of business this evening is to approve the minutes from the Administration Committee meeting of October 1st, 2018. Is there a motion?
Motion to, oops, Don, I'll make a motion to approve the minutes of October 1st, 2018.
We have a motion and a second from Alderman Kruger. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, nay. Minutes are approved. The first action or discussion item this evening is CGI Communications Community Video Program Agreement. And this was requested to be put on the agenda by the mayor, and I believe he has some introductory comments and some videos that he wanted to share with us this evening.
Thank you. So CGI has been in contact with us for a number of years, probably at least 4 or 5 years. They do a program where they help promote communities, and they do this through a video program. If we could start out with the one for Superior first. They do video programs for communities, somewhat like the program that we did a few years back showing Menasha, your place on the water, but these tend to focus on different elements within your community. One's an introduction, one would be economic development, some talk about educational opportunities, tourism. So there's a whole list of different items that they will do for you. They usually do 4 of them for a community in the first year, and then they update them over time. This is at no cost to the city. It does come, and this is kind of how they start out, it does come with advertising that potentially would be on the upper and lower portion of the screen for businesses within our community. The businesses, we do have veto power on the businesses, so if they wanted to work with a business that we did not feel was appropriate to work with in the city, we could say no, we do not want them to be a sponsor of our video. But they do not do business with alcohol, firearms, and I forget what the third one is now, but the typical ones that you would see people having concerns with. It may be, though, that it's a major business that's outside of our community that we don't think is appropriate to be one of the sponsors for our videos. So this is an example of one of the videos if we want to just kind of quickly let it play through. I don't know if we have sound or not. Nope, it's not going to be great if it's no sound. Some of them have the mayor or another staff member in them. Some of them would not. We'd want to work with the school district and probably UW-Fox as well to focus on education if we did.
That's a good idea. Where's it coming out? Down there in the computer. Back there.
So we would work with CGI to determine what the scripts are for these videos, what types of videos we'd want to work on, and the sponsors for those videos as well, and there's no cost to the community.
We guarantee you'll find exactly what you're looking for. Because in Superior, Wisconsin, we live up to our name.
So Nina does this as well as other communities around the state, and I wanted to bring this forward to see what the council's thoughts were on doing some of these types of videos. They would like to start writing the scripts over the winter, and then they would film in whatever season we thought showed off our community in the best light during that time. So probably early summer would be my guess is when we'd want to do these if we move forward. So does anyone have questions or thoughts about doing this? You want to see Nina's?
Yeah.
It's featuring Dean pretty heavily. No, you want to go to the Nina one instead?
Nina, right.
Looks like you actually your stuff to be in the movies.
Yeah, I'd prefer not to be in it, to tell you the truth.
Hi, I'm Mayor Dean Crawford. I'd like to welcome you to the city of Neenah. After watching this video tour, I hope that you'll agree that our community is a great place to live, work, play, and raise a family. Enjoy learning about the many special reasons why those of us that live here often say, Neenah, there's no place I'd rather be.
Nestled along the shores of Lake Winnebago and the Fox River, Neenah offers the perfect blend of small-town spirit and the convenience of living in the Fox Cities metropolitan area, one of the fastest-growing urban centers in the state. Neenah's strategic waterfront location was key to developing our major manufacturing, service, and commercial industries. We continue to build on that rich heritage today. A vibrant private-public partnership has brought significant economic growth and community enrichment programs to our city, as well as social, cultural, and recreational events for people of all ages. Coming to Neenah is like coming home. A welcoming community of 25,000 whose best days are still ahead of us. Come to Neenah for the good life, at work and at play.
So we want to thank Dean for featuring a couple shots of Menasha within his, well, and the Trestle Trail within his video. But this gives you a good example of how the sponsorships would look as well. I think it gives Sam and HR some opportunities to showcase our community when they're either recruiting staff or they're recruiting new businesses or other businesses just to help promote them that are already in the community. So it seemed like it was a good opportunity. And I was going to press the button so Ted could speak, and I realized I wasn't the chair at this point.
I watched them all today, and the education one has parts of Menasha in it as well. Alderman Ted Grady?
Thank you, Chair. So this is of no cost to the city, correct?
There is no cost in the contract.
Do I see
Correct.
here? Okay. All right, thank you.
I did ask several times how they make money, and it's based on sponsorships. They will do additional videos for us at a cost, but there's no requirement that we do extra. And typically, from what I heard from others, they typically come back 2 or 3 years later and do additional ones for free again to help refresh those videos. They shoot them in a way that if a staff person or an elected official leaves, that they can reshoot that portion of the video and change that as well.
I have a question for Mayor. How would working with this company do the same or something different from the video that was created a few years ago?
I think we would continue to use the video that was created a few years ago because it shows kind of all aspects of our community, but these would give us some opportunities to show some of those different areas more in depth. I think the education one is a very specific one that we could work more in depth with both the UW system, Menasha schools, and maybe even some of the other educational opportunities like the library and things like that within our community, where we didn't do a lot of that in that initial video because it was more of a quality of life video. So this gives us those greater opportunities at no cost to us.
Thank you for that.
Sure.
Alderman Taylor?
Mayor, could we add to the video, like, let's, if we built a new building or something, and we could insert that in before they came back for that?
I didn't ask specifically that, but they said they do update the videos over time. So if there's something that we feel strongly that we want updated at a certain point, she said typically they come back after 2 or 3 years and they refresh them again. So if we wanted to do something 6 months later, I don't know if they would do that, but they would over time.
And would they use part of that video that your place on the water?
We could release those videos to them, depending on what we're looking for in the new one, yes. We do own that footage, so we could mix and match if we
And we
wanted
should
to.
certainly take credit for University of Wisconsin here in our community.
Exactly.
Yeah. Thank you.
Mayor, what kind of time commitment do you think something like this would require from staff?
I did ask that because I know that we're all crunched for time here, and they will write the scripts and they will do the filming. So there's going to be some review of those scripts, some helping them determine what we feel are important things to highlight within that. And like I said, we'll work probably pretty closely with the school district, so we will also be working with them as well, not just our staff. So I would say fairly minimal time commitments, but there will be some time commitment, yes.
Okay. Alderman Taylor?
Thank you. And Mayor, will we all get a chance to look at this before it goes to print, as you say, or it's cut?
I can ask her before we get to the next meeting how that works. I'm guessing it's not by committee, but we may be able to look at the script, just for a general look at the script and what we want to see within that
I think it's good for the
script.
people that want to look at, maybe the council look at it and just, edit it, kick the can a little bit, see if it's what we
I can see what their typical protocol is, and I'll bring that back to the next meeting, and we can make a decision based on what they're willing to do. I'm not sure if they're willing to let us edit their script and do these things by committee. They may say, yes, you can pick the types of videos, but I'm not sure they'll let us write the script ourselves. So I didn't ask that question.
For instance, like with Mayor Crawford, he had some blank property behind him, downtown here, you definitely want the fake technology building behind you, showcasing,
Sure.
making a statement for the downtown.
Oh,
So certainly
definitely.
I would like to see us, take advantage of what we have here.
We could definitely put a list of areas that we want to feature together as a committee and topics that we want to feature as a committee and get that to them. That would be something that they would like and request from us. So we can definitely do that as a council, and I can just get everyone's comments to them, but I'll check on the other half for you as well before the next meeting.
Thanks.
All right, seeing no other discussion, if this is something the committee would like to move ahead with, I'll entertain a motion.
I make a motion to accept CGI Communications Community Video Program Agreement. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you.
I'm running the meeting.
Oh, I'm
Alderman
sorry.
Rapella.
Just roll it along.
We have a motion by Alderman Rapella, and the second was by Alderman Kruger to recommend to the council the CGI Communications Community Video Program Agreement. And seeing no other discussion, we can take a voice vote. All in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed, nay. The agreement is approved. The second item of business this evening is to apply for, receive, and accept grant funds for enhancing public health preparedness. And this is a grant helping address the opioid epidemic. Director McKinney.
Sure. Good evening, everybody. The United States is in the midst of an opioid crisis, an epidemic, as you well know. It isn't just our community, but many communities across the country. The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention has received funds to assist all 50 states. An allocation was sent to the state of Wisconsin, and the Department of Health Services Division of Public Health has found that the local health departments are eligible to apply for this particular grant. It's up to $20,000. It's from November of 2018 through August 31st through 2019. We, at the health department, do manage the safety program and have been engaged in assisting the police department and others in dealing with drug-related events, and are concerned about making sure that they're kept safe. We also coordinate with CIVMIC and have offered webinars to other municipalities around how to protect their police departments and what kind of equipment and so forth they need. The health department has a public health nurse that is dedicated to attending the Winnebago County overdose death fatality review. And also we have myself, who is on the board of directors for public health emergency preparedness for the region with the hospitals and the EMS system. So we're well aware of the issues that we're working with here, and it's all in an effort right now to learn the most we can about how to address this crisis. This funding, we would look to our capacity internally as a city to see where we could work with fire, police, and other departments, see if there's gaps in our infrastructure to help address this so that our employees can be safe and our community can be safe. There would likely be public education efforts around this. And we would also look regionally to see how our capacity is, especially with the overdose fatality review committee. So we're asking for permission to apply for this grant. We will probably receive some funding. It may not be exactly $20,000, but we would like to at least apply and secure that for our community.
Thank you for that explanation. First, we'll look for a motion to forward this to the council, and then we'll open it up for a discussion. Alderman Rapella.
I'd like to make a motion to accept, to apply, receive, and accept the grant funds for the Enhancing Public Health Preparedness, the opioid epidemic.
Second.
We have a motion from Alderman Rapella and a second from Alderman Tom Grady. On that motion, is there any discussion? Alderman Taylor.
Thank you. Director McKinney was watching one of the news magazines on Sunday morning yesterday, and the city that has the highest death rate from opioids is it's a city in Ohio. And they've just initiated a controversial program, but it's a test strip to test their opioids and other drugs that there's not fentanyl in it, and because they were having a mixture of that put in, and I know it's difficult for agencies to. Their fire department was handling it there, and it was they were giving out these strips to test sometimes illegal drugs. I guess they are illegal drugs, but also they felt that since they had such an epidemic and they just wanted to save lives, that it might save somebody's life by testing their drugs with this strip first and making sure that there wasn't any fentanyl in it. So it's something that they were talking about. It's going to spread throughout the country, but it's in Ohio right now. And again, it comes with controversy, but it's also a tool to help maybe prevent somebody's death. So you might be seeing more on that in the future.
Thank you.
Director McKinney, I appreciate your seeking out these funds to help address a need in the community. And I hope as part of that process that there's also assistance provided for folks who respond to these situations, because I know sometimes they can be very traumatic for the health officials, police departments, fire departments, for all those involved in these situations. And so having, some sort of debriefing process or, ability for folks to deal with the things that they see in some of these situations could also be beneficial.
Thank you.
Seeing no other discussion, we'll take a roll call vote.
Motion carried on roll call 8-0.
Thank you, and with that, we'll have a motion to adjourn. Alderman Kruger moved. Is there a second? Second from Alderman Ted Grady. All those in favor signify by aye. We are adjourned.